Now then, alright, in this video I'm going to do a rehandling of my favourite little chopping axe that's seen better days. The quality of it, of what I did when I first rehandled it, it's the first time I've ever done anything, and I did it quite a few years ago now. It's not great, but it's solid, it does hold, and it's just a bit battered from where I've been using it. And what I was going to do, I was going to replace it for a fresh handle. But before I do that, I'll save that for a smaller head axe. Basically, it's the same handle I've got here. If you look at this, you can see like it doesn't meet all the way into that opening. It's not quite the right size. Again, this holds perfectly well. I've absolutely battered it and abused it, and it's not come off. I mean, partially because I glued it in as well with some like industrial glue. Anyway, what we're going to do is, like I said, rehandle it with that one, but I don't want to rehandle it with that one because I don't see the point, because it's end up going to be similar to this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to clean this up, take that notch out, take some of the grain back, oil it up, clean axe head up, put a fresh lip on the head, and just make it a bit nicer, just a bit of a refresh basically. And eventually when I come round to getting a handle that fits this properly, I'll fit it properly. I think one of the main reasons why it doesn't fit properly is this axe head, my dad gave it to me, and it's, well, my dad's 74, if I remember right, and he found this, he said, when he was 8 in a farmer's field near a tree or something. So God knows how old it is. It's quite possibly over 100 years old, this steel, and it's absolutely, you know, in fantastic condition. And I love having old quality tools like this, because you just can't, the Chinese stuff and Indian stuff and all other stuff, even new British stuff, it's just crap in comparison to the old British steel. So I want to keep this axe going as long as I can. Anyway, I'll crack on with the video. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to clean the axe head up. All I'm using is 120 grit Arbor disc grinder on the grinder. Just going to get it clean up, get it nice and shiny if I can, and then I'll concentrate on the shaft itself. Apologies if you hear my phone going off at some point throughout the video. I'm popular today for some reason. I don't know why. Normally everyone leaves me alone, but as soon as I start trying to do something, everybody wants me. Normally when you're securing anything, you want to absolutely well it in something like plenty of meat, but I'm not going to be pressing down really hard on this, and it's solid enough. I'm checking you about, do you know what I mean? So anyway, let's crack it on it. I'm not trying to get this perfect, but it's definitely looking better. I mean, it's not the best light I've got in here, like, but there you go, you can see it. It's definitely looking better. I'm not going to touch it because it'll be red like that. I'll clean it up with some sandpaper, whatever. So that's just what I've been doing. Obviously, with it being the age it is, it's got some serious pitting, which, unless I really take it back, and I don't want to go too deep with this because I'll end up ruining it, I think. That's after. That's before. So it's cleaned it up quite well. And to be fair, I quite like that. It's cooled down now. I quite like that. Not that much. I quite like the pitting. So I might make it a feature. And I've used some different grits of abrasive paper. To be able to polish that up a bit more. I don't want to get too polishy because it is a working axe. I do use it a lot, especially when I'm going camping, so it's going to get abused. I just wanted to get a bit of a TLC, so I'll carry on with rest it and then bring it back.
A few moments later.
This is done. I've done all the sides and everything that I want to do with the grinder. I've chopped that down with grinder and it was getting a bit warm because the two wedges that are in there from when I didn't do it properly originally. We're sticking up, and as I grind it they're getting hot, so it started to smoke a bit, so I just doused it with a bit of water. I've not done underneath because I can't really get with grinder. It shows you there it's a 1.5 pound. I'm not going to get into there with grinder, so I might take away a file a little bit, but to be fair I'm not really bothered. It looks quite good. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all my gear together to start work on this handle. All I'm going to do is sand it back a little bit, and I think I'm just going to rub it down with some linseed oil and then some wax from a company that I use that's a local company, and it's amazing stuff, and you can put it on the metal as well, so it'll help protect the metal edge. Just try and keep that shine a little bit. So apart from grinder, I've not really got any with the sanding attachments on. I've not really got out to hand because my sander blew up. I'm waiting for some fuses to come to fix it. So I'm just using this. I don't know what it's called. It's a shear foam. I think it's like a wood file. I don't know. I'm not a woodworker. So I'll knock that off. Whatever it is doing, make a short work of that. Probably not using it the right way. Any woodworkers or people experienced woodworking that's watching probably shouting at me through the screen. Sorry guys, you'll have to come to a meeting and show me how it's done. I've not done a bad job of that, to be fair. You don't always need power tools, it seems. What I'm going to do now is I've got some emery cloth. I don't even know what grit this is. I think this is like 80 grit. And I'm just going to sand it down like this. People might disagree, but you can look straight away. You can see where I've sanded and where I haven't. It's a massive difference just in a few short passes. So I reckon this is going to do the job lovely. Okay, let's have a look at this. Right. That looks a lot better than it was. I think you'll agree. We're on a little bit of patina. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put linseed oil on it, let that dry, and then I'll put the wax on. So all I'm going to do is use some boiled linseed oil on it. I'm going to put it on a paper plate, put it on with one rag, wipe off with another. So I'm just soaking this rag in it. Again, this might not be the right way to do it, it might be better ways, I don't know. This is how I'm doing it, alright? Just saturating the wood with it. Somebody will probably tell me I should need to wear gloves, I don't care. I ain't got any. I don't think anywhere's got any on stock. Make sure I've got plenty on there. I'll soak in plenty. Right. Just going to leave it to soak for a few minutes. Alright then, so that's been about 15 minutes, so I'm just going to use this now to wipe off the excess of the linseed oil. I think it still needs to fully dry, like cure whatever, soak in. It just wants to dry, doesn't it? Bring it back. Right, so that's the result then. Like I say, it still wants to dry properly, and I'm just wiping off the excess, but oh, it's really nice. I think so anyway. All that's left to do now is just to put some of my favourite wax on it, which it's good for wood, leather, metal. Get a good coat of wax. The wax I use, you don't leave a sticky residue. You know, when you're touching it or whatever, and it don't wipe off very easy, and it'll hopefully help its water resistance. But that's the bottom of that. I mean, it looked horrendous before, and it don't look great now, but it looks better. And again, at some point, I'm gonna replace this handle for a proper fitting one that fills that hole. I don't know what you call these. I'll find out. It fills this properly. However, this is just to make it look a bit nicer, in the meantime. That's what they come with standard, and that's with linseed oil on them. Miles better. Right, so I'm going to bring you back once this is fully dried. I'm going to give it a few hours, and then I'll put some wax on it. Same with the head. I'll work on that a little bit. Don't need much. I've always kept a good good edge on it. And then I'll just clean it up a little bit, put some wax on that as well. Right, so right now it's been a couple of hours. I've just finished waiting for it to dry, and that's the result of that. Now the linseed oil's soaked in and it's dried off now. I can apply the wax to it. Okay. Righto, so what I'm going to be using then is, this is the product. It's Gunstock Wax by Slippery Dicks, company based in Sheffield. This is works on leather, it works on wood, and it works on metal, just to try and get a protective coat. I've used it a few times on wood and leather, and it comes out really nice. I don't know if I'm applying it 100% right, but basically what Paul the owner says on these videos, just put a little bit on and just get a good rub in. To be fair, he actually just uses his finger on his videos, he doesn't use a rag or anything. But if you use your fingers as well, you can feel when it starts to dry off. And the more coats of wax on you put, the more protection it's going to provide to the wood. You really don't leave a sticky residue at all. That's what I love about it. So that's the side that I've just applied the wax to. That's the non-wax side. It don't really help though because of this grain here is so much darker. The camera's not great. If we can do this side, see if we can do a comparison. Right, so that's before. I'll put a side by side. It does work better on varnished wood, to be fair. You know, if you want to bring out a shine. It's not really meant for stuff like linseed oil, which is a bit dull. Linseed oil, all it does is just help protect the wood and it brings out the grain a bit. Try to keep my fingers out of your way. It definitely is a much nicer finish. So that one's after, and I'll put side by side of these two. I've been checking this while I've been waiting for it to dry, and the edge is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that edge, so I'm not going to mess with it. I'll put some of this wax on. I'll give you an update because I keep this in my garage, and the garage isn't exactly weather tight. So the elements get to it a bit, and it will start to like look a bit rusty and pitted quite early on, quite quick, should I say. So I'll give you an update on Instagram, what it looks like after a few days, cold and not damp, but not exactly dry. Do you know what I mean? Get shine on that, eh? Just from that wax. It's also not going to soak into the steel, but it will definitely bring that shine like a polish, won't it? Look at that. Beautiful. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed that, please consider subscribing if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like button and the notification button. I think the axe has turned out really well. The linseed oil and the slippery dick scum wax has really brought out the grain and everything in the handle. Anyway, thanks very much. Until next time. Bye for now.